the music is always the pure thing that comes first. And if I look for inspiration for lyrics, it's usually the music that tells me the story that I'm able to write down and make a song out of, make a lyric out of. Almost all of the Duran Duran songs, all the stuff I do on my own, it usually happens like that. The music tells me a story. And I think that's quite interesting in itself. I'm quite happy to let it be like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a story about a challenge that we faced as an example. It was important to us to get footage of our film subject's family in Senegal. We knew that seeing them in their daily lives leading up to the reunion was going to be incredibly important from a storytelling perspective. That said, we didn't have the time, the money, or the budget to fly to Senegal and shoot this ourselves. So we decided to send a good consumer-grade camera and ask the family to shoot some footage on their own. What we didn't know when we committed to this documentary is what it would take to execute the film, especially in instances like this. So I woke one Friday morning at 6 a.m. to a voicemail from a worldwide shipping company who's going to remain nameless. And we only had 1 week to capture the footage that we needed in Senegal before Aisha's daughters were going to fly to the US. The voicemail took a second to register, and then it hit. Our package, the camera, was stuck in customs. And so that's all I heard, and I frantically scrambled to call the shipping company back. And I asked very politely how to remedy the situation. But the customer service agent was pretty testy and rude, and she basically told me I was out of luck repeatedly. So I did the only thing I could think to do. I told her about the family and the film and what the delivery of this package meant. And she softened, but she did not budge on the futility of the situation. So I did what I then really couldn't help but do. I just started crying, like sobbing on the phone, breath catching, like awful. And she went silent for a minute, and then she said, okay, hold on a second, I'll be right back. And when she came back, she told me there might be one other option. I could send someone to the airport in Dakar with cash for the customs agent or security agent or whoever this person may be. And basically, she was telling me I needed to bribe someone in a foreign country, and I had 2 hours to do it before this person that I needed to bribe would be leaving. So I had to send a total of about $250 US, which is a pretty hefty sum of money in Senegal, and I didn't know anybody in Dakar. So I desperately called our translator, who's originally from Senegal, and he gave me instructions to use an online money wiring service that I had never heard of, so I could send money to a friend of his in Dakar. And I remember sitting in this fury, typing all of my personal and bank account information into fields on a random website. And I mean, if you think that wiring money, even via Western Union, is sketchy, then just consider wiring money to a place you've never heard of just to send money to Africa. But it didn't matter. I trusted our translator implicitly. I knew it would work out, and it wasn't about to not work out because I didn't want to type my information into a field. So after 4 failed attempts and more tears of frustration on my part, his friend got the money, he made it to the airport in time, he found the people he needed to pay, he got the camera, and he delivered it straight to Aisha's children, and we got the footage that we needed.
The problem is when the process and the structure become an end in itself. When the marketing manager can turn around and say, yeah, the work may not be great, but I follow the structure, I follow the process. It's kind of got lost. I firmly believe structures and processes actually greatly enhance your chances of delivering consistently average work. And if you're chasing consistently average work, put a structure in place, it'll do the job for you. Conversely, I also firmly believe that having a structure and a process in place, having gone through the last 4 years, greatly decreases your chances of getting to great work.
It's obviously, everybody's saying it's like, you've got to have brave advertising, you have to do exciting stuff. But I think the key thing that I feel, that especially with creatives and people that's involved with making an idea happen and clients, what people have to really discipline themselves is understanding what it takes to recognize a great idea, what it takes to actually be brave enough to do that idea and be able to deal with failing, be able to deal with the fact that people might not like what you do. And I think that's one of the key things. For me, being outside of the industry, I couldn't fail because I shouldn't be here anyway. So it was easier for me. And sometimes I feel sorry for people where they're expected to do well, where they're expected to achieve things. For me, I have nowhere to fall because I've done better than I'd ever thought I could have done.
Hi, how are you? Okay, let's get a microphone into her. It's important. It's important for everybody here to realize. I need them to know. Have I ever met you before?
No.
Into the microphone.
No.
No, good. Have you told anybody your question or your thought?
One person.
One person. Who did you tell? Person next to you. Okay, good. Okay, focus on... it's important the person next to you stand up also then. Stand up also. Okay, good. Just into the microphone, please. You didn't tell me her thought or anybody else? Okay, good. Okay, okay, look at me. Okay, focus on your thought. You're the type of person I can immediately tell. You're very smiley, outgoing. You prefer to be outdoors rather than indoors. And one of your loves is traveling. Your question is to do with travel?
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay, and you want me to tell you... I know. You want me to tell you... And you're not a stooge or a plant, are you? No. Okay, you want me to tell you where one of your favorite places is to travel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. I'm sensing from you that it's somewhere that's really... There's a lot of kayaking and things, water sports. Charlestown?
Charleston.
Charleston, yes. Okay, focus now on your mother's maiden name for me, please. Your mother's maiden name. This is security information that nobody ever gives away. But you're giving it away now because you're thinking of a colour. You just thought of a colour there. Did you think of a colour?
Yes.
Yes. Most people would guess at this point that her mother's maiden name would be brown, but it's not. It's white. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, good. You can sit down. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Leave you with one word today. I'd like it to be the same word that I always leave you with, and that word is hope. Every time I get on a stage, I realize it can actually get worse. And so we really do need hope today, because we really find ourselves staring in the face of adversity and challenges. But the reality is that adversity and challenges are the perfect ingredients for a renaissance. And there's never been a better time. And you're actually seeing a revolution taking place on the streets all over the Middle East today. But it's not a political revolution. It's a revolution of expression and the way in which people are communicating and expressing themselves. And the tools to be able to do that have never been greater. And what we see today is new tribes being formed. Tribes that are united around what people believe, what people love, where their passions are. And I have a lot of hope and a lot of ambition. And I really do believe that we're going to see something great come out of this. Because what we see today is these tribes are actually, because what we need today is we need the best of us to unite against the worst of us. So that's my hope. I hope you share it. Hope you like my talk. And as I said before, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all. Thank you very much.